Hello students, today we are having our next lecture, a poem, Spring and Fall by G.M. Hopkins. It's in our first paper. First of all, let's talk about the poet G.M. Hopkins, that is Gerard Manley Hopkins, 1844 to 1889. He was an English Victorian poet, and the first poem of his was published after his death in 1918, nearly 30 years after his death. He was also studied at Oxford, and he was also influenced by the Oxford movement and John Henry Newman. These were the two very important things, the man Newman and the Oxford movement. He was a Christian though by birth, but in 1866 he was converted to Roman Catholicism, and in 1877 he was ordained to priesthood. And the style of poetry writing of G.M. Hopkins was very special in the sense that he was a great innovator of poetic language and words. His style is quite original to him only. He has broken the old conventions, old traditions of poetry writing. His poetry was quite modern, as we can say, and on the basis of its subject matter, his language and his experimentation in rhythm and syntax. He has coined many new words by joining words or by disjointing them, and he has also invented sprung rhythm in poetry. The main works for which he was known are the Rake of the Dute's Land, Felix Rendell, and the Windhover. This poem, Spring and Fall, as the name suggests, is full of the we can say paradoxes, or we can say the opposites, as we see it in the name of itself only, the spring and the fall. So in this poem, Hopkins talks with a girl named Margaret about what she is feeling right at the moment, and he tells her about what is to come. And in a way, the poem has very deep meanings. Margaret, are you grieving over Golden Grove unleaving? Leaves like the things of men, you with your fresh thoughts care for. Can you? Ah, as the heart grows older, it will come to such sights colder. By and by, not spare a sigh, though worlds of when would leave me lie. And yet you will weep and know why. Now, no matter, child, the name, sorrow's springs are the same. Nor mouth had, no, nor mind expressed what heart heard of, ghost guessed. It is the blight man was born for, it is Margaret you mourn for. So the little child, she was weeping. And why she was weeping? She was weeping over Golden Grove unleaving. Unleaving means leaving the leaves, shedding the leaves, as is the season of fall. It is the season of autumn, and in autumn season what happens? That the leaves grow golden, leaves grow pale in color. Those green leaves, है ना, पतझड़ का जब मौसम आता है तब क्या होता है, जो ग्रीन कलर की पत्तियां वो कैसी होती हैं, ब्राउन येलोविश कलर में टर्न हो जाती हैं. सो ही सेज गोल्डन ग्रूव मीन्स अगेन द कॉइनिंग ऑफ द वर्ड, जो अभी हमने बात की थी ना कि हॉपकिंस जो थे वो न्यू वर्ड कॉइन्स करने में मास्टर थे ना, वो वर्ड्स को जोड़ के. गोल्डन इज बिकॉज कलर्ड, ग्रूव इज दैट ग्रुप ऑफ ट्रीज, है ना, जो गोल्डन ग्रूव मीन्स ही हैज कॉइंड ए न्यू वर्ड गोल्डन ग्रूव. सो दैट forest of trees, or that bunch of trees which is golden, which whose leaves are golden, so they are unliving, they are falling. And Margaret, this child, she is grieving, she is weeping over the falling of the leaves. Means this is a simple thing, simple natural phenomena, that in the season of autumn the leaves fall. It is quite an obvious thing, it is quite a natural incident, but the small child Margaret, she is weeping over it. Why? Because she loved the trees, she loves the leaves, but now as they are falling down, she is weeping. And Hopkins, she takes it to those heights, to those deeper levels, where she compares this falling of the leaf with the human destiny, or with the issue of mortality which we face in our life. He says, leaves like the things of men, you with your fresh thoughts care for, can you? He says, leaves like the things of men, as is the things of men, as the things happen with men. In the same manner, leaves also fall down. Leaves are here compared with the happenings with men, things of men with happenings of men, or the destiny of mankind, or the what happens with men. You with your fresh thoughts care for. You care for what? Leaves. Leaves you care. You with your fresh thoughts care for. You care for the leaves with your fresh thoughts, means you are innocent, you are not experienced, you are unexperienced, you haven't seen the tragedies, the mishappenings, or the fall of mankind. You haven't witnessed the fall of mankind, so you are caring for the falling of leaves. But the things of men, can you care for them? No, right at the moment. Why? Because you are so innocent, you are so small, you are so inexperienced, that right at the moment you cannot comprehend those things which happens to be with man, which are a cause of sorrow for mankind. As the heart grows older, it will come to such sights colder. Now look at that, what a great thing he has spoken in these two lines, that as the heart grows older, now you are caring for the falling of leaves. Means you are so sensitive right at the moment, that you are caring even for the falling of tree leaves. But as your heart will grow older day by day, you will be colder, means you will be careless to such things day by day. When you will grow up, when you will grow more older, and when you will gather experience of this worldly mortality, then your heart will not be so heavy with grief with such small sights. These things will not turbulate your heart, will not disturb your heart. By and by, nor spare a sigh, though worlds of vain would leave me lie. Again, vain wood, a word he has created. Vain means yellow, pale. Wood means forest. So pale forest. He says that by and by, nor spare a sigh. By and by, slowly and slowly, when you will grow older, then you will not spare a single sigh. For what? The worlds of vain would leave me lie. There will be heaps of leaves fallen from the woods, fallen from the trees, but you would not spare a single sigh. Now look at the contrast, that now you are weeping over the falling of the leaves, but later on, when your heart will grow old, when you will grow more experienced of this worldly things, then you will not spare a single sigh over the sight of this leaves, even if they have fallen in a very big heaps. And yet you will weep and know why. He says that I'm not saying that later on, after growing old, you will not be sorrowful. He says, yes, you will weep even then also, but then you will know why. then you will know the region of your weeping. Now you are just weeping over the falling of the leaves, that is not a big matter, है ना? But then you will weep, and then you will know why. Why? Then you will weep for mortality, for the fall of mankind, for the fall of human being. Means then the cause which you will weep will be the real cause. Now you are weeping for this. No, why? Means again, it refers to that thing, that now you are weeping for the falling of the leaves. But then later on, when you will weep, even if you will weep, then you will know why you are weeping today for this falling of the leaves, because the destiny of a man is same as the destiny of these leaves. So on that day, when you will realize that what this life is all about, what mortality is all about, what is there for we human beings there in our life, then you will weep also. But then you will know why you are weeping, because then you will not be weeping for the mortality of these leaves, then you will be weeping for the mortality of yourself, for the mortality of mankind. Now, no matter child the name, sorrow's springs are the same. Again, a very powerful lines he has written, that now no matter child the name. Now means in the old age, when you will gather experience, then no matter the name, then the name will not be matter. And then there will be no matter of name, that why you are weeping, because again and again the root cause of that weeping will be the same, and that is the mortality of man. Sorrow's springs are the same. Sorrow's springs. Look at the antithesis, we can say. Spring is a pleasant thing, है ना? Spring ऋतु में क्या होता है? पौधों पे फूल आते हैं, नई पत्तियां आती हैं, मीन्स दैट इज a happy thing. But he has added, put it together with sorrow. Sorrow's springs. Sorrow की भी springs होती है ना? Again and again we will have new sorrows day by day, year by year, and they all are same. दुख की जो भी स्प्रिंग्स होती हैं, इन दुख की जो भी रूट कोज होते हैं, दे आर ऑल सेम. दे आर caused by our mortality. Nor mouth had nor mind expressed what heart heard of ghost guessed. He says, now even you, mouth means sound, your voice, not, you cannot express it with your mouth, with the words, and you cannot speak it why you are weeping. No, nor mind express, not even your mind cannot guess it, but yes, who can? Your heart has heard it. You feel it from within your heart of ghost guessed. And ghost means the soul, that thing of which we just make guesses. So that thing, it has guessed it. It is the blight man was born for. You know why you are weeping? What is the root cause? Root cause is the blight. Blight is here referred for that original sin of mankind, that it is the blight man was born for. It is that original sin for which the man was born for. It is Margaret you mourn for. He says it is that original sin, that root cause, that mortality for which you are mourning for. So what is this original sin? Do you remember that last year we have talked about this thing, that as far as our religious or the historical background of humanity runs, that we used to be living in the Garden of Eden, and there was that apple tree, and Adam has eaten that apple tree, and he has forbidden, that fruit was forbidden, and that was the first mistake a human being has committed, and just because of that mistake we have been punished to live here on this earth and to die. So he says that original sin, that first disobedience of man, was the root cause of our sorrows. Why we are weeping? Why we are having these sorrows again and again? The springs are fresh for us by and by, again and again. Why? Because this is the thing for which we are being sent on this earth by God. Because we have committed a sin. We have been disobedient to His orders, to His precepts, and that is why we are here on this earth to weep, to mourn for that sin which our forefathers has committed. So in this poem, we can say that by talking about the falling of the leaves uh, at a deeper level, we can say, as the poet has suggested, that actually the little girl Margaret is already mourning over her own mortality. She is, though she is small, she at that time, she doesn't feel that kind of sorrow, as she not have gathered that much wisdom to understand what is actually happened. But the deeper meaning which the poet has employed is this, that we weep for many things, different things we weep for, but those things are actually the outer things which we perceive, which we sing, but what our heart feels or what our soul perceives is what, that we weep for our own mortality, because we are being born for this thing only, to feel these sorrows, these pangs, as a result of that original, that first sin which we have committed. So this is it. Thank you.